Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, in my video yesterday, I said that we were going to be starting the Escape the Nightmare situation that Gabbie Hanna posted. And instead I got distracted fully by the Kenza Cosmetics drama. So today I am actually going to be doing the Escape the Night. So I'm sorry and you're welcome. I know a lot of people were really interested in the Kenza Cosmetics revisit those. So I'm glad I still did it. But anyway, I'm very excited to jump into the Escape the Night stuff because it again is really messy. And to kind of recap what I said yesterday, this is why I believe that Gabby deleted the series, because she was doing the series obviously exposing people, and the Escape the Night one was the one that kind of like was picked up by everyone. You know, Daniel Prada, the boyfriend of Joey Graceffa, famously known as, responded with like a killer video. Joey Graceffa responded with like a killer video. Rosanna Pansino was saying that Gabbie Hanna was a nightmare. Like, basically everyone turned against Gabbie Hanna in the YouTube space. And this was like a real reason that people were like, wow, Gabby is a liar. Wow, Gabby is a mean girl. And it all stemmed from this video, which we have right here. It's called Escape the Nightmare. So to recap again, Joey Graceffa has a YouTube original show called Escape the Night, where a bunch of YouTubers go in and it's like this show of them like survival and stuff. I don't know. I cannot watch it. The acting of the YouTubers is abysmal. It's not my thing. And it's crazy because even in the time period where I loved certain YouTubers, Colleen, they were in it and I still could not bring myself to watch it because it just was so it was so purr. Anyways, let's get to Gabbie Hanna's expose, and then we're going to be getting to Joey Graceffa's response, Daniel Prada's response, Rosanna Pansino's. Like, this opens Pandora's box. So if you're excited, let me know. And yeah, please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. And I'm excited to jump into this one because it's been a while since I've seen this. All right.
I think I left off at, let me think. Oh, there's a story I want to tell. The reason I'm doing this, so silly. Also, the fact that I've been talking about my diet and weight all day, clearly thinking about that a lot. Literally texted Peyton, was like, can you get me some chocolate covered raisins while you're out? That has to be some type of weird subliminal.
Chocolate covered raisins is so gross.
Self-destructive shit, right? Or maybe I just wanted some fucking raisins. Maybe it's not that deep. I think I left off at, let me think. Oh, there's a story I want to tell. The reason I'm doing this is because so much stuff has popped up at once, and I never got to adequately just like defend myself. And I don't want this to be a thing that people think they can just do, come out and tell some like story about me, then everybody makes fun of me and like doesn't listen.
Which is so ironic because ultimately those people would then respond to this and everyone would take their side. However, in this revisit, I want to see what she had to say, and I want to hear what Joey has to say. I want to hear what Daniel, and then we'll come to a collective opinion, and I'll have mine, you'll have yours, and then we'll meet somewhere in the middle. Because again, I remember in this moment, I immediately jumped on the Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada train and was on their side. But I'm willing to hear her out. I'm willing to hear her out. There's been many things on this series right now. I've been willing to hear her out. This is why we're doing it. We're not revisiting this, and we don't revisit drama in general to double down on opinions we've had years, ago when we covered it. The thing is to kind of see how it's aged if we have a different opinion. And when we visited Dramageddon 1 and Dramageddon 2, my opinions were totally different, and it's fun because I posted videos when those Dramageddons were happening and my opinion is completely different than the revisit now. I don't know, I like looking at things when we have a little bit more information and time has passed.
I always apologize if I do something wrong, if I react in a way that's embarrassing. Always I apologize, but I never get an apology for what they did. And I'm so sick of this narrative that the first person to talk shit about it publicly is the person who just like wins, and you just have to apologize to that person and that's it. Because this situation was really fucked up, and I've always kept it between us because I feel like professional and personal relationships should not be public, period. And that's why I've never spoken up about shit.
I love her Nightmare Before Christmas cup. Did you see that? That's what I'm interested in.
So,
I also like her glasses.
Has been said behind the scenes by people I thought were friends for years, and I was made a mockery of by people I thought were friends for years, and then they went on publicly to throw me under the bus after pretending to be my friend for years. And as soon as it was like an opportunistic moment, just be like, she was a nightmare to work with.
Season 4, Gabby, I had issues with her. I also had issues with her on season 2. I don't think I've ever said her name publicly, but it's not really news to anyone. She was miserable to work with for the most part. There were good moments. If she was great on camera, which she was, and she was very entertaining, I forget about all that shit. And then season 4, she was a nightmare. I'm not going to expand upon that because I don't really care anymore. It was just hard. There were a lot of diva antics. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of unprofessional behavior. It was miserable, but it turned out entertaining on the show, so I can't really hold that against her.
So I want to...
Okay, I completely forgot that that clip by Daniel Prada existed. I made a video on that in the moment. Oh my god, I'm having flashbacks. I remember that it was Daniel Prada that started this. He like randomly brought it up. I think he was asked a question or something in a Q&A. He was the one that started this. So obviously Gabbie Hanna is going to respond. Okay, that changes my opinion a little bit because I did think that she just started this, which again, this series has been mostly, but Daniel Prada did throw her under the bus and then she didn't respond for a while. Now, here's the thing as well. Daniel Prada is allowed to talk shit about her or anything if he had a bad experience with her. And again, a bad experience can be a different opinion or, you know, he could say it was a bad experience. Gabby could say she had a bad experience of him. Everyone's allowed to put their opinion and their side out there. But I completely forgot that this started because Daniel Prada was the one that started it. And he ultimately finished it. But I think it is fair that Gabby would be allowed to defend herself. Now, I have not watched Daniel Prada's main video in a while, but I remember that he made great points in it. So I'm excited to see like what Gabby's take/defense is here because I think the story against her was more damning than what she ever said, but let's get to it.
Talk about Daniel Prada, and in relation, I have to talk about Joey because Joey also talks shit about me publicly.
Oh, there was one in season 4 too.
Not the Dish with Trish podcast. Wow, her set night is so much nicer, isn't it? Okay, 2 months after Trish's videos about me, January 29th, 2020.
Really?
Yeah, that was...
This was right before the pandemic. This podcast created the pandemic, if you think about it.
Or was
The knock-on effect.
by far.
Why?
Just because
Drama.
of this one person on the cast who just made it hell.
Really?
Is it true that there was drama on the set of season 4?
Yeah, absolutely.
How was Gabby?
Gabby was very competitive. She
would be.
was. Like, I wasn't
feel like
expecting
she's
it
lost some
at
weight and is
all.
looking
No,
good now.
she
It's
was
like,
she was
fuck it, I'm
Miss
coming for
Bitch.
you.
I would never play Mafia with her. You know that game?
I wouldn't play any game with her. She'll own up to the fact that she was a little nasty on set sometimes.
Right.
Because like I still have to deal with the repercussions of this. This situation was
She loves throwing up a drama video, doesn't she? T-Spill, Dustin Daly, Spill Sesh. Where's Rich Lux? Normally he's included in these. Sid, Angelica Oles, of course, and I love that she's watched all of the videos because you can see the red line is complete. Like she clocked in for her shift and watched every single drama video on her.
real, and it's embarrassing to admit because I feel like there's this very public theme when it comes to my life of me thinking people were my friends who weren't. Dude, it's just embarrassing. Again, my heart's fucking pounding, but I've held this shit in, and like the fact that my heart is pounding about it right now, like I don't want to, dude. I don't want to live with this shit anymore. It fucking sucks for real because like this for real dead ass is not what I want. Like I feel like I've made it pretty clear that this is not what I want because if this is what I wanted, like I would have done this shit years ago. Like all I wanted to do for real was just work on my music and do.
She messaged Daniel Prada after the third public comment Daniel made about her. Daniel made his video after this, so the one talking about her. So she messaged Daniel and says, I would really appreciate if you guys could just let it rest, please. I'm trying really hard to just disappear and leave everyone alone, but stuff like this really hurts. He says, hey, babe, I'm sorry I wasn't there or a part of that.
Do that.
What?
Every fucking few months.
He said, I don't give a fuck.
This is one that hurt me so much because I truly, for real, thought Joey and Daniel were like my real friends. So this was a fucking knife to the fucking heart. So here's how it happened. My agent reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do Escape the Night season 4. I had done season 2 and I did not enjoy the experience at all. And I told my agent I did not want to do it. And I told him my reasons, which were I was really dealing with a lot of very bad mental health issues and my eating disorder was at an all-time peak. This was around the time of the monster meme, the Kenza Cosmetics thing. There was a lot of shit going on. And also I did not like the first experience that I was there. First time I signed on to do it, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm dying to do this. But I didn't expect my reaction in that type of work environment and it was like not good. Like I was just unprofessional. Dude, a lot of people have a lot of stories about me.
Oh my god, not her blaming ADHD on her being a nightmare to work with. Girl, do you know how many people have ADHD and they're not nightmares to work with? Many. Now, I also do want to say, she said that she was a nightmare to work with in season 2. I think it's also important to note that if she's admitting that she was a nightmare to work with in season 2, then Daniel and Joey were obviously aware that she was a nightmare to work with. Why would they want her back? Like, they also asked her to come back for a season 4. So if even Gabbie Hanna is admitting that she was a nightmare in season 2, why would you even bother having her back for season 4? It seems like you're setting yourself up for history to repeat itself. Obviously, you can be like, maybe she's changed now, but it seems like they knew what they were getting into, the same way that Gabby knew that she was a nightmare to work with, and yet she decided to do it again. You know what I mean?
Being unprofessional. I promise you that. Like, there's no shortage of them. I used to be really difficult to work with, and probably in the wrong setting, I'm still really difficult to work with. Acting, especially like stuff on sets, it's just something that I personally cannot do. If I'm sitting still for too long, I need to fucking do something. Doing a shoot like that, where it's like you're there for hours.
She said if I tried to like edit and use my computer in the green room, the producers would tell her to put it away. Which, unless she was, I mean, we don't know if she was like editing videos really loudly or anything, so I can't comment on that.
Most of it is sitting around doing nothing. Empty.
Okay, this is a really interesting point that she brings up. When complaining about Escape the Night, she says, you know, there's so many hours where you're just sitting around doing nothing. And she's basically saying that like having ADHD, that doesn't work for her. Okay, but when you're in an environment like a filming environment or a set or something like that, unless you are the biggest star of all time, it is a group effort. Like, you're not the biggest star, and that's fine. And I know that she would acknowledge that as well. And that's not a problem. You know what I mean? You're like, it's not like Meryl Streep or something where, you know, Meryl Streep's going to be on set for an hour and you make sure that you get all her fucking scenes because she's booked and busy and she wants to go. But if you're not Meryl Streep, then you're waiting around for your time or waiting around for your turn, or you're helping out, or you're being a part of it. Like, yes, Gabby, like, you were not filming 24/7, and that doesn't mean that they were just doing that because they were treating you bad. That is like how it works. They need you to be on call. They need you to be on call, and that's very normal in that environment. But you would have also known that if you did season 2. So why did you go back for season 4?
TV honestly probably could tell some stories about me too. I did not treat my mental health in that way because I didn't understand it. I wish I understood the shit about myself.
She loves throwing these ADHD things up, doesn't she?
Opportunities and like possible business relationships. The first time, like, I was really embarrassed about like the way I acted. I was like super.
They talked shit about me after the first season aired too, privately and publicly, so I wasn't dying to do it again. Okay, but why did she do it again? You know what I mean? Why did she do it again, and why did they want her back? Like, both of them are in the wrong here. Daniel and Joey, why did you want her back if you were talking shit and she was such a problem? Gabby, why did you go back if you hated it so much? It's not career ending if you don't go on Escape the Night. Like, sure, it's like a little bit of clout, but like,
I didn't like the working hours. I didn't like the working conditions. My call time for that was like 12 for like
the working hours, because yeah, you're so used to being a YouTuber that works maximum like 1 or 2 hours a day.
Hair and makeup. We would start shooting at 7 or 8 and then wrap around like 3, 4, sometimes 5 in the morning.
That is very normal on a set environment. That is very normal in a set environment. You signed up for it.
There was literally no sleep. I cannot function like that. I'm sure there's like very professional actors who do that. In fact, like Colleen literally had like a baby on set and she managed, you know what I mean? I can't.
Isn't she the greatest woman of all time? Shout out Colleen.
That's why when my agent came back to me and was like, they want you to do season 4, I said, dude, I can't. Like, it was not an enjoyable experience for me. I do not want to embarrass myself like that again. So then Joey and Daniel are like, please, we really want you to be a part of the show. We loved you in season 2. You looked beautiful. Like, you brought so much like shit to it. Tell us what you need to make you
Yeah, she brought so much shit to it.
feel comfortable, and we'll make sure you have it. And I laid it out pretty clearly.
Oh, she did. So she tells Daniel Prada, I need 3 healthy meals a day. 1 like as soon as I get there. If I don't get any, I'll be very sick and I'll be evil. Okay, hi, I'm back. I need chicken, fish, veggies, sweet potatoes, black beans, salad, but like the dry lettuce, and 2 1 by 1 inch strips of meat. Girl! Ain't enough because only eating twice a day. I need a full ass meal. I'm coming straight from my trainer, so I'm gonna be hungry as hell. I'm doing intermittent. She's a nightmare. This is really not helping her case here. I'm doing intermittent fasting, so I better be a Barbie by April 12th. As long as there's a healthy fat, a healthy carb, and a protein, it should be fine. And enough calories. And Daniel Prada, as much as I am not a fan of Daniel Prada, goes, gotcha, I'll have it available for you. And you can dress it as you like. Sounds good? And she goes, lovely. Not even a thank you. Daniel says, hi, mommy. How tall are you? Ordering some stuff. She says 5'5.5". Perfect. Also, let me know if you want anything. Let me know anything you want in the Escape the Night trailer. I'm having PAs do shopping this week for snacks or drinks. She said, I need hella healthy shit or else I'd eat all the chips. LMAO. And he goes, me, bitch. Okay, so her point here is that she was struggling heavily in previous times with a strong eating disorder. And she didn't want to be in an environment where she would, without speaking for her, kind of relapse or, you know, not eating the things that she was planning on eating or her routine be messed up in some way and slip into old routines to do with an eating disorder, right? Now, if I'm being very transparent with you, there have been many times in my life where I have very struggled with eating. And there have been times in my life where I just haven't ate for long periods of times. And that is my responsibility. That is not your responsibility. That is not their responsibility. And if I'm at work, it's not up to someone else to cater to my eating disorder or cater towards me not having an eating disorder. You, Gabbie Hanna, are rich and you can afford to hire your own personal assistant if your needs are this crazy. Like this crazy. This is not Daniel Prada's responsibility, even though he is an assistant on the show. He's an assistant on the show, not an assistant of Gabbie Hanna. This is ridiculous. This does not make her look good at all. You have me siding with Daniel Prada. Do you know how bad you have to look for me to side with Daniel Prada? My number one up?
In each meal, I need a protein, a carb, and a vegetable. I sent specific meals just so there was no question. And I was promised that that would happen. That was important to me.
Sorry, it said on the screen that she had sent to her agents and it wasn't catered, so she reached out to Daniel. She says to Daniel, love you, sorry for being evil, low blood sugar, it's me at my worst. And he says, it's okay, basically. He says, I'll go to Whole Foods for a run if you need anything. She said, I had hummus this morning. I need like a protein, a fat, and a carb, LMAO. Can you maybe make me a salad at Whole Foods? He goes, sure, what do you want? This is not what he should be doing. He is running a show right now. She goes, chicken, black beans, bacon, dry cranberries, and a little blue cheese crumbles. Balsamic on the side, please. And he goes, okay, girl. This does not make her look good.
I also brought up that I was extremely uncomfortable the first season. My dress was very restrictive. I couldn't lift my arms. Like, that gives me...
So now we have another thing about ADHD. Drinking game. Anytime ADHD pops up on the screen, take a drink. You have alcohol poisoning by the end of this video. So she's now saying that because of, like, clothes being tight, you know, she was really uncomfortable in the show, which is a very valid thing. But can we stop with these ADHD? Like, we get it.
Severe anxiety. Like, dude, I'm a very fragile person, I know. But that's my point, is like, I'm very forthcoming about that with pretty much everyone in my life, because I'm trying to set boundaries and communicate clearly, this is how I am feeling. If you still insist, because I'm working on that, but I don't respect my own boundaries. So if you insist and you're like, please do this, and I agree, and I'm giving you these very clear things that I need to meet my dietary restrictions, which, by the way, is not weird for any type of actor or talent on set to have a request like dietary needs.
Yeah, but not as explicit or as often or as intense as you. Normally you get a writer. Do you want some, like, Diet Cokes and, like, some chips? That is normally, or some fruit, some nuts, maybe like a salad. Like, once a day, like a pre-made one, like not like on the cuff at lunchtime. You're like, go get me a salad right now. Like one that's already done in advance kind of thing, or like, what the fuck?
Personal thing. Some people need vegan food on set. Some people need gluten-free. I needed something that was fitting the needs of my eating disorder. Just like, you're a horrible, toxic person. And I'm like, was I?
Honestly, I hope I'm not overstepping any boundaries here. Again, I'm coming at a place from someone who, I don't like using words like that, but I'm someone who has lived with disorderly eating for a very long time. That's no one else's responsibility. They don't have to cater towards me. That's my own shit. I deal with it. I sort myself out. It's not up to you to cater towards me. Even if it's an on-set environment. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, it really is ridiculous. And I hope I'm not overstepping a boundary there by saying it, but I'm coming from a place of, like, if this was me.
Because, like, I feel like what happened is exactly what I told you was going to happen. But that's why that was such an upsetting situation for me, because I was hearing that behind...
Why is she crying?
And I was hearing that he was, like, playing out voice notes of me being upset that there wasn't, like, the proper food on set.
And playing me their own audio messages of Gabby cursing people out because they don't have the right food or whatever the case is. Like,
Not Trisha always making her way into these.
It's you, Gabby. Think about it. Think of all the people you screwed over. The people that you fucked up their set because of your eating and training schedule. Things weren't catered to you. You're a fucking piece of shit.
she causes chaos on sets because
The amount of Trisha videos.
and she has to be at a gym at 10 a.m. because that's her routine. You're a psychopath.
And that's, like, humiliating, dude. To, like, it's one thing to do that, like, privately behind my back. Like, I know that, like, Daniel and Joey are two of the biggest shit talkers on the planet. All you
I believe it.
including me. I was too. And that's why I don't belong in that community. Like, I surround myself with, like, to know that, like, my mental health and something that I was
Again, I just don't understand why Joey and Daniel wanted her back, and I don't know why in the end she agreed to go on it again.
struggling with so much and I was so forthcoming about. And, like, dude, I was humiliated in that situation too. By day 3 or 4, I forget how many days I lasted there. That was day 3 or 4 of literally absolute worst case scenario what it could have been for me. I showed up to set, and, like, one of the things they promised was, like, we promise we'll get you a really comfortable outfit. They were bragging that they were, like, spent all this money on this, like, beautiful silk, and I'm like, please just make sure I'm warm. I don't want to be in heels again. Like, dude, this is, like, literally playing physical sports outside in costumes. Like, it's the most confusing fucking situation.
She shows a clip of her running. She goes, this is the most intense physical thing you'll ever see in your entire life. We're doing, like, an Olympics outside. It's a clip of her running.
I don't want to be
So
in
real.
tights and shit again this year. I want to be warm and I want to be able to, like, move, because we sit in these outfits for literally, like, the work hours on that set were nuts. I show up on set, literally the exact same problem where I literally couldn't move my arms and I was feeling really restricted and, like, claustrophobic in it. I was wearing literally nothing. It was, like, freezing winds. Once again, I'm in heels, playing fucking sports outside in heels, like, all the shit that I was promised wasn't going to happen, essentially. And then the other fucking thing was they asked me, like, are you allergic to any metals when I was getting this costume? And I was like, I'm highly allergic to pretty much all metal except for, like, sterling silver, white gold. First day right off the bat, I'm wearing all of this fake, huge, chunky jewelry that did break me out in very, like, painful, itchy hives all over my body, not just where it was. And then by the end of the first day, I'm like, okay, there's literally no healthy food. There was, like, a taco on a flour tortilla with cheese. I, like, pulled Daniel aside and I was like, I understand it's the first day, but, like, please make sure that there's, like, the proper food tomorrow. But it was the last day. And don't get me wrong, I was, like, bitching the whole time. Like, I was very unhappy because I was fucking hungry, dude. I'm hungry. Not eating enough and not eating the right food, and in the mental state of every time I eat one of these, like, snacks from Crafty, I'm blowing up 100 sizes. So then the last day that I was there, we wrapped at, like, 4:30 or 5 because, like, there was this big power outage thing that, like, literally postponed production, like, so late. So we wrapped around 4 or 5. And then I got my call time and I was like, why? It's a night shoot. And that was something that happened to me both seasons where, like, my call time was always ridiculously early. I feel like that's a full work day and we haven't even...
That's a full work day. Maybe because, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum, you were working. I actually don't know how to respond to that any other way. That was like a full work day. A YouTuber experiencing work for the first time. What? A full work day? Early call time? What?
Full glam doing nothing else. Like, it's a miserable fucking experience. Everybody else who had a great experience, great. But like for me, that's why I said I didn't want to do it. Because I didn't want to fucking do it. And that's honestly also on me for not respecting my own boundary. I didn't understand myself.
It is on her.
To know that I just should not have done the show. I should have fucking held firm to that and just been like, I love you, I want to support you, but like this is a no for me. So anyway, the last day, I had this absurdly ridiculous call time and I literally told the producer, no, I'm getting home. It's like 5 fucking a.m. Like I have to sleep. And they were like, well, we need you to do your interviews. And that was this other, dude, it was crazy making because literally they would have me do my hair and makeup early and I'd be sitting there because
Isn't it crazy how this was only a problem for Gabby? Because the other people knew that they were signing up for work with a call time. If you don't go to bed, who's that on? You and your time management. Again, not to give credit to the devil, but Colina just had her baby. She made it work. But you couldn't. No, you didn't even want to do it in the first place, so you were organizing other things alongside it, and then you ran yourself too thin and you overworked yourself. That's the real story.
We do interviews, which is like the fake reality TV portion of the show. I still don't understand the show, dead ass, but there's like a reality TV portion of it where we were like playing these characters, but like it's us. I don't really know. They'd say it was for interviews, and then I'd be sitting there waiting, and nobody would come get me to do the interviews. So I was like,
because other people were probably filming theirs.
They would keep coming up to me and being like, Gabby, okay, are you ready to do interviews? And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, okay, stay put, don't leave, we'll be right back. And then they'd leave, and then nobody would come back. So I'd literally just be sitting there for fucking ever, and then somebody else would come back and be like, oh, why aren't you in interviews? And I'm like, because nobody came and got me. And then they'd be like, okay, hold on, 1 sec. And then they would leave. Literally what would happen is we would start filming the episode, and I didn't do the interview. So you had me get my ass here that early. I sat here and did nothing. Here's what really fucking sent me over the edge. I got home to my fucking room and I had an email from my agent saying, Gabby, you can't refuse to do interviews. And I was like, I'm not refusing to do interviews. I'm literally sitting here waiting and nobody's getting me or miking me. How is this my fault? Like, I literally felt like I was going crazy. This is how I act when I'm upset. Like this right now, my level's already up. Imagine like being there and being like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm waiting. I'm right here waiting for my interview. This is my fault. The entire production team, literally nobody just came. I'm sitting in the hair and makeup trailer or in the green room. I was nowhere else because there was literally nowhere else to go. You were either in the hair and makeup trailer or you were in the green room. So like, whose fault is it that I didn't do?
But she is aware that she's working, right? Even on the downtime. Like she has clocked in from that so early time start. You know what I mean? Like she's working. And isn't it a privilege that you get to just sit around and do nothing and you're working? This story doesn't make her sound good. And that's not necessarily, I don't know if she's doing this to like make herself sound good, but it's like, why is she telling this?
Like, what do you want me to do? Oh my God. Anyway, so 4 p.m. the last day I was there till 7. The whole interviews thing is there. I'm still sitting there waiting to do interviews. The interviews don't get fucking done. At 4 p.m., I was like, hey, can I get some food to one of the producers? And they said, the kitchen doesn't open till 5. And I was like, what? I've been here all day and there's nothing but snacks available.
She goes, my stomach hurts so bad from eating shit I'm not supposed to eat.
Like, this is fucking nuts, dude.
And then they brought me a plate of unseasoned ground beef. I can't make this shit up. So what you're saying is they gave you food.
So I blew up at the director. I blew up at probably Daniel and not Joey. I was very careful not to blow up at Joey, but I blew up at Daniel because Dan.
Oh my God. We're going to read some of these. Okay. Let's read these really quickly. From Gabby. I'm not sure who Catherine Kelly is. But can you please let her know that I haven't been refusing to do interviews? I was there in full glam for 5 to 6 before shitting to do them, and also was waiting at lunch to do them. And every time someone was going to pull me, they never said that they were ready for me. I think it sucks that my camp is being told I refuse to work. He said, I have no idea what is happening. I think they're just behind on your interviews, so either 2:50 today or 2:15 today or Monday. And then she says, clearly they're behind. My issue is people are telling my team that I'm refusing to work. Well, they should be telling your team that you're a fucking nightmare, but they probably already know that. When I'm literally sitting there for hours being told, be ready for your interviews, blah, 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 blah. And you're planning on killing me off? Honestly fair. If you weren't planning on letting me compete to the end, you could have just killed me off in episode 1, LOL. He says, Gabby, that is not my word at all. I work on, world at all. I work on storyline and creating the backstory, not the YouTube talent or anything involved. I don't plan kills or the production stuff. I'm confused as to why there's any issues whatsoever. You can tell me if you don't want to be on the show. I won't be hurt. I obviously don't want Joey to hear that because he's fragile, but I don't like hearing all these stories when it's really easy to bypass everything. And she says, I'm super unhappy because I've had like 3 requests that are totally reasonable that no one listened to and made it impossible to be any type of comfortable. Number 1, oh, there's a list. Actually have an outfit I can move in, which I know they wanted another fitting, but they asked me the day before. Okay, so basically what I'm hearing is that she did not go to a fitting. So whose fault is that? Hers. And I had full day obligations. 2, I can't wear any metal that wasn't sterling silver because I'm allergic and now I'm covered in rashes. 3, I need healthy meal options. Oh my God. And to eat pretty soon after I wake up or I'll get sick. None of that happened until I had to snap because no one listens to me until I'm aggressive. And probably because I'm not an actor, so I don't care about speaking up when shit's fucked up. So everyone else quietly bitches about it and then it riles me up more. Oh my God, I can't even be bothered to read the rest of this. She sounds insane in these. I don't even.
Producer, and he was also the person who promised me that he personally would take care of my meals. It just turned into this thing of like, Gabby's a diva, and then I talked to Joey.
Just like every other fucking woman who advocates for herself, even if she needs to fight for the bare minimum. Babe, it's not sounding like you're fighting for the bare minimum. I'm gonna be honest. It seems like you're fighting.
And then they lied to me and said that they wanted me to stay because I was like, dude, do you want to kill me off? They're like, no, like we want you to stay. And then I had heard one of the producers let it slip that they were like killing me off. And then I asked Joey again,
I would kill you off.
are you killing me off?
Episode 1.
Again, and then it turns out that they did actually plan to kill me off, which was for the best, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, dude, just be a real person. Like, nobody's a real person. Like, whatever. So anyways, the next day, I believe it was the next day, I texted Daniel and Joey and I sent them this apology where I was like, I really did not want this to be a bad experience. I'm so sorry if I like ruined this experience for you. I'm so grateful that you like trusted me with this and that you wanted me to be a part of it. I wish I could have been better at doing this and expressing myself. But then I also wanted to express myself, which is I really didn't want it to get to this point. Just basically saying, this is why I got here. I do think we need to like stop with this idea that like apologies have to be one way because we were both wrong. I was a bitch and an asshole, which actually, no, I'm not going to call myself a bitch. I'm going to say that I had a very emotional reaction to a very emotionally triggering situation that I could have handled myself better.
That's what I'm going to say in future when people call me a bitch or a C word. I'm going to be like, I was just reacting to the moment I was in.
100%. And it's embarrassing, and that's why I apologize for it. But like, to not apologize back, to not take ownership of anything that you did to contribute to that. Like, dude, you didn't respect me as a person, as a friend, as a creator, as a talent on your show. Like, how unprofessional and gross is it that you as a producer of a show, when you needed something to talk about for views, literally would throw me under the bus, when you literally were just in my home decorating it for content, when you've been coming to all of my parties, you've been inviting me to your events except the one you uninvited me to, which That was another thing. But like, no, hold up. I can't gloss over this because it was actually so fucked. I reached out to Daniel because he tweeted something about Santa's naughty list not coming to the Christmas party this year or something. It's an annual Christmas party. I've been invited the last couple years. When I saw that was around drama. So then I reached out to Daniel and I was like, dude, it's totally okay if you can't invite me to your party. I totally understand if you don't want to be associated. And he was like, no, girl, not you. Like Trisha, she's the problem. And then I literally went and bought the secret exchange white elephant gift. Like it's a $50 gift every year. I went and got the gift because he literally told me I'm invited to the party. And then I see Snapchats and Instagram stories about that. That's whatever. I apologize to you.
Okay, well, that's shitty. You know what I mean? That's shitty if they continuously were saying that, you know, it wasn't her they were saying was uninvited from the party or not invited to the party. And we're saying, no, we're talking about Trisha. And I'm pretty sure Trisha went to it, but they were talking about Gabby. And then she gets the present because they said, we're fine, you're coming to the party. And then she doesn't even know when the party happens. Like, that is shitty on their behalf. It is.
And then the second it was popular, throw me under the bus, you threw me under the bus. Like, there's no other way around that. Because you're either being fake then and pretending to like me for content or followers or to be on your fucking billboard, or you're being fake now when you threw me under the bus the second you felt like it was safe because so many people were doing it. I took ownership for my mistake of that to you personally, both Joey and Daniel. I texted Joey and I was like, dude, I wish you would have just talked to me. Like, I thought we were past this. So then he told me that he accepted my apology then, but then he decided he didn't accept it, which is fine. If you want to unaccept your apology, it's weird, but do you. I guess that's your right. But I think it's also kind of fucked up to like go onto a public platform without at least coming to me first and being like, you know what, I thought about it and I still want to talk about it. I'm still upset. But no, you went and talked shit about me on a public platform. That's fucked up. I don't know, dude.
Well, I mean, did she reach out to any of the people she's making these things on beforehand?
Whatever. It's so embarrassing finding out how many people did not give a fuck about me. Like, I went through my life without friends. Like, that's not a friend. That never was a friend. That was somebody who never liked me, never cared about me, and also caused a lot of fucking drama in my life. Constantly coming back to my ear about, like, this.
I mean, caused a lot of drama in your life, but, you know, in a sense, from what we've heard and what we've seen, it seems like you were provoking that to be a reality. And I hate to, like, blame you for that, but, I mean, it kind of looks like you provoked a lot. And if you were doing all that to me, I would talk shit about you. Maybe that's just because I'm a mean person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous to think that I'm not going to talk shit about you if you are making my life so hell while I'm already stressed out. Nah, I'm gonna talk shit about you. I'm gonna be honest, babe.
This person said this, like, planting shit in my head that caused me, like, real drama and repercussions and shit. Like, just sucks, dude. I'm tired of, like, the fake woke conversations about, like, we care, and, like, about mental health, and we want...
Not me and Gabby having the same earrings right now.
Mental health. Let's normalize respecting people's boundaries. I'm doing my part the best I can. I'm trying to work on myself, and I'm trying to communicate clearly what I need. And then to just, like, whatever, dude. You get the point. That's my side of that story anyway.
Well, you were communicating what you need, but it was ridiculous what you needed, and you could have organized it yourself. You're in a working environment, and they shouldn't have to cater towards you that much because they're already working with so many other people.
And of course, I'm sure it falls in the middle. Like, there's always three sides, despite what Rice Gum said.
People say there's two sides to every story, but there's literally only one side.
From where I was sitting, I felt extremely disrespected. I felt that I asked very fair boundaries, which were appropriate, time to rest, my dietary needs, a costume that I felt...
Okay, dietary needs have already been through that. The costume, from those texts, it seems that she didn't go to one of the fittings. And the call times, that's on you for not making your schedule accommodating towards sleeping.
Comfortable and can perform physical fucking activities and challenges in and spend all day in. And jewelry that didn't break my entire body.
Now, the jewelry thing, I can't wait to hear the other side of the story. Because as of right now, it's ridiculous if she was only given the jewelry that made her break out. I'm excited to hear the other side of the story in that because right now it sounds very bad on Daniel and Joey, but I'm excited to hear the other side.
Fucking total bitch also. Sometimes I'm a total bitch. For real. Generally, I'm a direct reflection of the energy that's given to me. I really know that about myself. If you are kind to me and treat me with a semblance of empathy and respect, and like I can tell that what you weren't trying to hurt me. In fact, I would go as far as to say that my biggest fucking downfall is I try way too fucking hard to make excuses for people because
she's an empath.
know how troubled I've been and the way that I've acted in situations that I'm not proud of. I can understand when somebody's being kind of a shitty person, because I wish that a lot of people didn't just push me to the wayside when I was struggling. And that's a very codependent mindset, and that's something I've also like, I don't know, dude. I just feel like at this point, dude, there's so much I needed to get off of my chest. I just don't feel good like going through life like I've been giving myself too much anxiety trying to.
You can both hurt and be hurt. Apologies more than often should be mutual. Well, if they're deserved. Okay, I feel like I've pretty much said everything. I'm excited to hear the other side of the story now. Again, a lot of the things that she said was kind of her just preaching on about like, yes, I was a bitch. And I'm like, okay, wait, so why are you saying that and then being like, they owe me an apology for what? You saying that you were a self-proclaimed bitch? Like, I'm excited to hear the other side of the stories on this. Let me know your opinion of her video. I actually thought it was going to age a little bit better than what it did, but it aged exactly how it was the first time I watched it. Deranged. All right, I will see you in my next one. I'm very excited to jump into the responses. Goodbye.